For our next session, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Mr. Aditya Sharma from Startup India, Invest India, introducing to us the concept launched by the Government of India. So, what's his subject today? Jago India. Please put your hands together as I welcome on stage Mr. Aditya Sharma. This session, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by Axis Healthcare. Once again, can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Sharma as I invite him on stage to address to us and throw some light on Startup India, Invest India. Over to Mr. Sharma.
A very good afternoon to all of you. It's a pleasure being here. This is a city where I started my career. So it's great to be back to Chennai. So, I belong to Invest India. I'm sure most of you must not have heard of it. So Invest India is a national investment and facilitation and promotion agency. They primarily deal with the greenfield and brownfield projects, which are in the range of multi-million-dollar scale. And the prime objective of Invest India is basically to attract FDI in India. They also host Startup India. I believe most of you have heard of it. So we are a 20-member team working under the guidance of DIPP, Department of Industry Policy and Promotion. And our job is to encourage entrepreneurship and innovation in India. So as most of you know, in January 2016, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the Action Plan for Startup India. So Action Plan had 19 points which were distributed across ministries to promote innovation and entrepreneurship in India. It has been more than 1.5 years, and let's see what all progress we have done so far. So, the real action always happens in the state, wherein the tier 3 entrepreneurs, tier 4 entrepreneurs lie. And I'm happy to report that 15 states have already come up with startup policy. 11 of them have come up after the action plan was launched. And we are working very closely with the government of Odisha, Uttarakhand, have a very advanced level talks with Tamil Nadu government as well to formulate the operating guidelines wherein the local startup ecosystem in the state can work. Till date, around 4,500 plus startup has been recognized. 74 of them gets a tax exemption. And based on the feedback received over a period of months from the ecosystem, the condition was extended from 5 years to 7 years. So now startup for all the government benefits is valid even after 7 years, up to 7 years of incorporation. Turnover of less than 25 crores in any of the preceding financial years, and improving any of the existing business models. So that is how we define innovation at Startup India. Most of the startups are coming from the metros, but the good thing about it is that we are getting a lot of interest from tier 3 and tier 4 cities. So what are the benefits that any startup gets when it gets recognized in the Startup India program? Number one, hand-holding support. So you can get a self-certification of around 6 environmental laws, several labor laws, of course, under the white industry. There's a fast-track facilitation of IPRs. I mean, that has been a big pain point of innovation ecosystem, right? It is very difficult to get a patent in India. So we are able to help all these entrepreneurs, innovative entrepreneurs, to get their patent in a record time. Easier exit process. So if things don't plan out well, 90 days, you can dissolve the company for insolvency. Funding. I mean, the most talked about subject in startup ecosystem. So 10,000 crore SIDBI fund. And just to clarify, this fund has to be dispersed over a period of next 7-8 years, up to 2025. And this is basically going to act as a leverage. Yeah, so 10,000 crore means actually the corpus intended is 40,000 crore available to be invested in startups. Credit guarantee scheme wherein you get loans free of collateral for risky businesses like startup. We are at a very advanced stage wherein this is still under progress and requires some regulatory approvals. Tax exemption. The 74 startups that I was talking about, they get exempted from the IT exemption for any of the 3 years in those 7 years of their existence, capital gain tax and so on. Infrastructure is very important for any ecosystem in any country to grow. So for that, there are several programs run by DST, DBT, Niti Aayog, and several other ministry which supports that. Atal Tinkering Labs, which works under Niti Aayog, is basically about capturing the entrepreneurs right at the school level. And those school labs will be mapped to right mentors, which will foster entrepreneurship at the grassroots level. We keep on organizing incubator challenge wherein the existing incubator can compete and get a grant of up to 10 crores to develop themselves as a center of excellence in that particular locality. Events, startup fest, and talk shows like a very regular phenomenon across the country. So this is one of the case study. Navendra Innovation got recognized. It was a 348th startup to be recognized in the Startup India program. He filed on patent on 28th of October, and within less than a year, he was granted a patent on 25th July 2017. The average time to get any patent in India under normal condition is around 5 years. So he, under the Startup India program, was able to get the patent in less than 1 year. The facilitation fees for filing the patent was borne by the government only, and IPR, of course, belonged to the startup. So this is that SIDBI 10,000 crore fund of fund schemes. Till date, around 600 crore has been committed. All this information is available in the public domain. All the VCs who have been committed this 3,600 crores is available on the SIDBI website. Among those 600 crores, 78 crores has already been dispersed. So this doesn't mean 78 crores. As I said, it has a 4x multiplier. So total amount of investment was in the vicinity of 320 plus crores. So easing of landscape. So we cater to all kinds of entrepreneurs, right? Somebody who is at the grassroots level looking for all kinds of guidance, to somebody who has been there, done all, and they ask the government to just stay away and let us do our business. So we have taken that feedback and come up with certain things which ease or make the environment more conducive to start up a business, be it like self-certification of certain laws, self-certification of environmental laws, which helps you get start your startup very quickly. Then we got a lot of feedback from the angel investment community. And hence, under the alternate investment fund category 1, there has been amendments which allows the lock-in period of any angel fund to be now 1 year. Earlier, it used to be 3 years. And the minimum investment could be up to 25 lakhs rather than 50 lakhs. So these are some of the amendments which the government of India has done based on getting the feedback from the ecosystem. And we are very sensitive to the fact that our job doesn't end at the formulation of the policy. It also means that getting the feedback, interacting with the ecosystem so the appropriate amendments can be done. So if I have to put it in one slide, this is what we are trying to do. We are trying to map the journey of an entrepreneur right from an intent stage up to a stage wherein it becomes an actual startup and ready for investment, mentorships, and so on. So right at the intent stage, I talked about tinkering labs. We are in a process of working out our reality shows on the similar lines like Shark Tanks, Atal Innovation Labs, Startup India learning program for the idea. So wherein you start with an idea, and at the end of the course, you are capable or you have a knowledge and resources with you to create a business plan. Validate your idea with all the incubators supported by different industry, academia, partnership programs run by the government. And last but not the least, all the funding support in the form of tax benefits, fund of funds, biotech funds, which are very specific to biotech startups, and so on. I will play a video which will, tell you about what we have done and what are the key parameters on which the government of India has been working in since the launch of Startup India program. Can I have the first video, please?
And our Honorable Prime Minister's vision is a guiding light.
हिंदुस्तान का कोई जिला, हिंदुस्तान का कोई ब्लॉक ऐसा ना हो कि आने वाले दिनों में नए स्टार्टअप शुरू ना हुए हो.
Startup India, an initiative of the Government of India that promotes entrepreneurship by nurturing, mentoring, and facilitating startups throughout their life cycle. January 2016 saw the launch of the Action Plan, a big step to help entrepreneurs get started.
We have a tech startup idea, but don't know where to begin.
Honestly, I have no business background, but don't know where to go for advice.
The Startup India Hub is a unique platform that addresses your requirements. It identifies and approaches the right mentors, incubators, accelerators, and investors.
And you can access all of this through the Startup India app or the website. डैड सेड ऐसे स्टार्टअप शुरू नहीं हो जाता, बिजनेस करना आता भी है। वेल, आता तो नहीं था, बट देन आई टुक द फ्री स्टार्टअप इंडिया लर्निंग प्रोग्राम एंड हियर आई एम।
Protecting the idea is very important, but how do I start? The government appointed facilitator helped me find my patents for almost no cost.
आइडिया और फंडिंग से स्टार्टअप शुरू नहीं होते। गवर्नमेंट रिक्वायरमेंट्स का पेपर वर्क और सरकारी दफ्तरों में भागा दौड़ी, इसका खर्चा कहाँ से आएगा?
Startup India understands this and helps entrepreneurs self-certify for compliance under 6 labor and 3 environment laws, and several states are in adherence. Guidance and mentorship is great, but a startup needs the right resources to grow. This is why academia and the industry have been brought together to set up research parks, incubators and startup centers across the country. Let's look at biotechnology today. Bioclusters and bioincubators are being set up at major national research institutes and universities to help startups in every possible way. We know funding is a big roadblock for startups. The government has created a fund of funds that will help startups gain access to funding.
Entrepreneurs will no longer face the challenge of initial profitability. The exemption under the Startup India initiative gives you a 3-year tax holiday out of a block of 7 years. You can reinvest the capital, really make a business big.
Businesses fail all the time. Startup India helps you wind up your business in 90 days and move on to your next thing.
We are committed to promote entrepreneurship, innovation and startups in the country. We have taken a number of steps and initiatives to strengthen the ecosystem for startups, and we are committed to doing whatever is required to be done to further promote this ecosystem and provide our entrepreneurs and the young people with the opportunities that they require.
Spirit of entrepreneurship begins early, and Atal Tinkering Labs at school level encourage this very spirit. Plus, many programs help at the college level too.
The government is constantly moving forward, but with the inputs which come from people. The government is going to be an honest facilitator. We want to make sure that the startups are not going to be wondering as to who's going to help them. We are here. Access us for information, access us for suggestions, and access us also tell us that we should do things better this way or that. We are here to help you. We want you to succeed as a good startup entrepreneur. We are with you.
With Startup India by your side, why wait? Come on, India, let's start up. Get recognized with Startup India because we are here to help.
So yeah, I mean, that was our former minister under which we worked for 1.5 years. Now, of course, the Honorable Suresh Prabhuji leads our team. So who we are? So these are like, various initiatives which are spread across the ministry and different ministry and departments, DST, DBT, Niti Aayog are looking after those schemes. We at Startup India Hub were mandated to be a single point of contact for the entire startup ecosystem. And we have been operational since June, July last year. We are a bunch of young individuals who were actually working in corporates and working with startups. We left that, come here to do something meaningful for the country. And we are now a member of around 20 plus team. We started around 2-3 people just as an idea stage, pitched to the minister, and we were approved to build a team of ours. So till date, we have addressed around 67,000 queries through our call center. We also run a Twitter seva. We respond to emails. We have one-on-one facilitation. Our primary objectives are to minimize the information asymmetry in the ecosystem, make sure that the existing resources are utilized properly. So to give you one example, one Japanese investor came to us and said, I want to come to India and get involved in the agri-tech sector, but I need a local regional partner. And we had somebody who had a previous conversation with us who were looking for some kind of a international technology in agri-tech sector. So we facilitated that handshaking between the right partners across the table. Interesting point to note from all these queries and data pointers that most of these queries are coming from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And they usually talk in Hindi or any other regional languages where they belong to. We do a lot of international collaboration, Portugal, Israel, we are at various stages with Japan, Germany, Singapore, and Sweden. So these partnerships are basically trying to open channels wherein innovation can exchange, we can create some kind of an incubator exchange program and technology transfer. So this is one of our success case study wherein we help the Odisha government or work with them to formalize the policy, startup policy, and set up operating guidelines. The team over there were very supportive of us. All our amendments were very well received. 92 startups have already been benefited. IIT Bhubaneswar just last month got a grant of 7.5 crore to set up a local incubator and center of excellence. Startup India learning program, the one which was talked about in the video, we launched it in January 2016. So it's a 4-week course in a video format, tutorial format. You start with the idea. At the end of the course, you have all the knowledge that you can create your own business plan. Till date, over 1,70,000 users have already registered for the course. They are at various stages of completion. And around 7,000 people have completed the course. And the feedback has been really positive. I mean, this you can convey to your mentees, especially in schools, colleges and on, that this is a wonderful course to learn the basics of entrepreneurship. Startup Yatra, this is very close to me because it actually touches the tier 3 and tier 4 aspiring entrepreneurs. So we go to these tier 3 and tier 4 towns in regional colleges. We invite around 300 to up to 500 students. They come up with an idea on their own at that particular day itself. At the end of the day, we ask them to pitch their ideas to incubators or investors or mentors. And some of them actually end up securing a seat in an incubator. So we did this in Gujarat a couple of months back. As we speak, my colleagues are traveling in various tier 3 and tier 4 cities in Uttar Pradesh. We plan to do the same across 6-7 states in coming year. So it was a no-brainer, right? To do more, we need to go digital. We knew that there are many people here with the expertise, education, money, and there are a lot of startups and aspiring entrepreneurs looking for guidance, looking for funds and various other resources. So as a government, our job was to be a facilitator or an enabler to ensure that these communication happen as efficiently as possible. So we built an online portal. It is called startupindiahub.org.in. It's like a LinkedIn cum Quora cum Google News for the startup community. So you being a mentor, you can come, log on to it, tell your location, tell your industry preference, which stage of startup you want to mentor, and accordingly, a dashboard will be customized for you, which will tell you who are the startups according to your preference, who are the nearest incubator to you, who are the fellow mentors and investors. So again, the prime objective of building this platform is to aggregate the information and the resources at one place. So it is supposed to work as a one-stop shop for the entire startup ecosystem. So what do you all get if you register over here? Cloud credits, AWS, DigitalOcean, you get software suite. Zoho, local to Chennai, is offering up to 1 year of free application suite to all the startups through this portal. We have Vakil Search. I'm not sure if somebody from Vakil Search is here or not, but they're offering legal templates and services free of cost to all these startups. Online learning and development program. So if you go on IIT Madras online learning programs, Udme Academy, curated in such a way that any entrepreneur willing to learn what is required to be an entrepreneur can get that knowledge or information from here. Ecosystem engagement, as I said, you can connect to mentor, investors, fellow startups and all. We also introduced a chatbot here. Of course, it is first of its kind for any of the government projects. It gives you around 60 to 70% accuracy, and you can navigate the complete platform over this bot. In the pipeline, we have already completed the phase 1 of application management system, wherein you can apply to any scheme related to the startup ecosystem at this one place. So we have already curated a list of 150, 180 schemes. Some of them are live, some of them keep on getting live on a periodic basis. So right now there are around 60, 70 schemes which are active, and you can consume that in a very easy and easy to understand, to read format, not those PDFs that we are so used to with government schemes. Going forward, we are going to build a full-fledged application management system, wherein as an incubator or an investor, you can run your own application without any of our guidance or interference. So can I have the second video, please?
India Hub, a one-stop platform for the entire startup community. A platform which will help you create your own startup story. Your personalized dashboard enables you to connect with mentors, incubators, accelerators, investors, and other fellow startup founders. These potential partners are categorized according to your chosen industry, stage, and location. You can send a connect request to any of these community members and take the conversation further over email or a cup of coffee. Check out the resources section for valuable knowledge, learning and development programs, and various other tools and templates. From registering a company to accessing market research reports, we have covered it all for you. A curated list of government schemes applicable to the startup ecosystem, along with the application link and contact person details, is now just a click away. See what is happening in the startup world. Check out the latest blogs written by members of the startup community and news curated from over 20 different sources. Get to know about the upcoming meetups and startup events in your location. On the forum section of the Hub, ask questions, engage in discussions, and get valuable feedback from the community. In case you need any assistance, we have Sara to help you navigate the platform better, constantly enhancing itself to provide updated recommendations over time. So, what's stopping you from spreading your wings now? Start up now and register using MyGov or any other social media credentials. Access the Hub on the go using our app available on Google Play and the App Store.
We have done a lot of enhancement on the product based on the feedback that we receive from the ecosystem. So this is how the product looks like right now. And so register user can have, a customized view of all the ecosystem players as per their preferences. You have resources in terms of, knowledge bank, how to register a company, how to develop an Android app, how to engage with the investor, what you need to do, what all details that you need to add in your investor pitch, and so on. You must have seen a Delhi NCR icon over there. So we have already built a system-level mechanism where all the charter members of any TIE chapter can come on board as a mentor. And they can look for startups or the scout for startups, submit blogs, engage on the forum, and engage more with the community. That's what the whole purpose of building this platform is. Knowledge bank, events and competition, which is categorized according to location, the subject, and the dates, and so on. Thank you. Everything. The best part is that all this knowledge, information is available in regional languages. So we have translation as well as transliteration of all the subject matter in 7 regional languages, including Tamil. So please come register. It's called startupindiahub.org.in and engage with the community. Thank you.